Welcome, my beautiful Sagittarius. This is your February 2026 tarot reading. Um, I was going to say it was late. However, when I was shuffling your cards, many of you know, like that's when I meditate and I connect to our guides because I read through, well, my spirit guides who connect to your guides. We're all one big soul family. But so I'm thinking, it's the 6th of the month and I'm late. However, let me tell you what I heard during, um, I'm going to just say my meditation. I heard this reading is arriving at the exact moment a decision is, well, what do I want to say? Um, like a decision is is like there's a decision that wants to be made. I don't know why I can't speak today. And this is for some, this isn't for everyone. But so someone is trying to make a decision, and I feel like spirit's going to help give you clarity in that. Also, someone connected to your path um, can feel that you're shifting. So that means you must be shifting. And when you move, everything changes. So I cannot wait to get into your reading, but I'm not done yet. The Spirit said this doesn't happen again in the same way. So let's look at what you're being asked to step into. Um, I'm like, I don't know, Sagittarius. I'm so excited to do your reading. This is also for those intuitively guided, and Sagittarius of all placements, by the way. If you found yourself here, just know that, chances are you're meant to be here. Our guides work that way. They'll put a reading before you. You may ignore it, but then something makes you go back. That's your guides. That's your guides. So, Sagittarius, let's begin. We will give Mother Mary the honor of opening up your reading for her beautiful words of wisdom, the crystal vision to go deeper. And we're going to do an actual spread. We're going to do the Celtic cross. But, and I could just leave it at that, but we're going to use the crystal vision to go deeper. So these readings get deep. If this is your first time here, first of all, welcome to everyone. We do go deep, and that's why the readings are longer. But that's just how my soul wants to read. Okay, so I'm going to bring the lid down, slide everything over. I also want to give a shout out to those who listen to my tarot readings through my podcast. I don't know why I always forget about you. I don't forget about you, but you deserve a shout out. So thank you. Okay, Mother Mary, Sagittarius. I have goosebumps. What is going on? Like, I haven't even pulled a card yet, and I have goosebumps already. There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. Health. Health. Mother Mary says, my prayers for healing miracles have been heard and answered. Beautiful. Health. So have you been praying about your health? I feel like all of a sudden I'm feeling around some of you that there are like angels all around you. And when I say some of you, doesn't mean that your angels aren't around you, but I feel that there are some that you're going through something, and it is affecting your health. It might be affecting like anxiety or that type of thing. But what I feel and what I see are like angels everywhere. And they're all just pouring their unconditional love upon you. Wow. So, and I feel it. I feel my angels giving me a hug right now. So I know some of you are feeling that. Some of you are feeling like a brush, like a brush on the skin. And that is a loved one. That is a loved one. Remember, angels, at least the majority of angels, have not lived life before. Your spirit guides have. And I feel like this is someone that you loved in this lifetime. It feels more like parental. Um, so it's just love. And I feel like they're just, oh, and also your hair, like this light stroke. Wow, Sag. Whether you feel connected to your guides and your angels or not, I hope you believe me when I say that they are connected to you. And some of you, I got goosebumps again. Some of you, you needed to hear that message. By the way, when I get goosebumps, oh, it's just confirmation for me. All right, so let's get back to the reading. Celtic cross. There are different positions. Look at that. It's almost like your whole reading came. Oh, okay. Well, we're not going to turn it down. So number one is the current energy. By the way, I like to put him face down because I have no clue. I don't want to know. I like it. You know, I am that psychic detective I talk about, and that's what I like. I like to allow your story to unfold. Yes, it does take longer. Number two, what bridges that? So the current moment. Number three is your subconscious mind. Number four is your past. Number five is your conscious mind. And they mirror each other. The subconscious and the conscious mirror each other, as do the past and the near future. By the way, when I say near future, many of you know this, like, I don't like to read, like, what's going to happen 5 years from, what's going to happen a year from now. I want to know what's going to happen now, soon. Maybe not right this moment, but if I can know right this moment, then I want to know that for you. So, you might want to keep it in your back pocket. All right, next is you. All about you. Look at this. We got the exact amount of cards, maybe one extra. We have external influences. Can be, I have to say, lately it's been like the external influences have been quite beautiful. Then we have, oh no, we have just the right amount of cards. Your hopes and your fears, and it can be both. And then the final outcome. Though I do want to remind you that we can change that outcome if we want to. And this is exactly why I do tarot readings, because we do have the power to change our outcomes or to manifest the outcome that we wish for. Let go of exactly what it must look like. Um, but yeah, so, okay. Let's go ahead. I want that card to fall off the table. Let's go ahead and begin. Sagittarius. Current energy. Justice. Card of Libra. You know what's interesting is I was torn whether to do your reading or Libra's reading because it's the last two signs for February. And I heard Sagittarius. And then here shows Libra. But, I really don't feel like it's a Libra. I mean, it could be for some, but I really feel it's about the energy of justice. Now, justice can mean a few different things. It could certainly mean like a karmic lesson. And, I feel like when justice shows, it means a karmic lesson has been learned or is very close to being learned. And by the way, that is something you should celebrate. I know it's difficult. It's that type of energy you think you can't get through, but then you do. But then you do. And by the way, when you have a karmic lesson, I feel like, and I know this because I've been doing this for so long and connecting to our guides. It's like this sounds awful bold, but I feel like I know how energy works. Thank you to our guides. So anyways, we'll see. But when justice shows in a reading, it is about making you whole again. It may be asking you to use this sword. There may be, ask yourself this. Do you feel balanced? Does your life feel balanced? And if it doesn't, this is where this sword comes in. The sword is always yours. And we're meant to use this sword. We're meant to cut ties because not everything is meant to last forever. And again, justice wants to make you whole again. So let's see what crosses it. Wow. The Five of Cups. Man. I feel the sadness. This is definitely thinking of the past. It can be present. Boy, I feel like for a few of you, you were dealing with someone who just kind of went silent and just left you hanging. And the sadness that follows. Boy, I don't like it when people do that. Like, if you don't like me, just tell me. By the way, just because one person doesn't like you doesn't mean that there's not 20 who will. Because the beauty of this card, even though we can see this person is looking at the cups that have been knocked over, right? Like each one of these was, well, I'm going to tell you what I feel. I feel like each cup is a stepping stone to your ultimate cup. And where is that? Who is that? And when is that? You hold that power. This is a 5. 5 once change. And it's just saying, if there's nothing I can do here, then I need to start thinking about me. I feel like this is the cloak of the hermit. So there must be some wisdom you're extracting. If nothing else, it may be what I don't want in love. But the beauty of the Five of Cups is what's behind this change. What did Spirit just say? Interesting. You're shifting. And when you move, everything changes. That makes so much sense with the Five of Cups. Because behind this person is a soulmate. So maybe, just maybe, instead of like, well, let me put it this way. The danger of staying in this energy too much, and this may be also affecting your health, is it can turn into woe is me. Like I am unlovable. I am not worthy. I am too old. I am too young. And none of that is true. Not for the right person. Not for the right person. And that's exactly what I feel like we are moving into. So, justice. Listen, if nothing else, it's asking you to cut those energetic ties. And maybe, just maybe, believe in soulmate love. And though I don't really love putting titles to love, I do feel like every cup that has been knocked over or has come to completion has taught me something. We're either the teacher or the student. And sometimes just knowing what you don't want. Listen, if someone went silent on you, which I think is cruel, and it doesn't mean, that you don't still have feelings, but I want you to think about that because your guides are saying you deserve the best, but you have to know that. You have to know that. So I feel like there is a soulmate on the horizon. And by the way, soulmates have known each other for eternity. And I get this sense that this is what I would call a healing soulmate. Comes in and, boy, all of a sudden I can feel them. And when I look at you, all the things that you may look in the mirror and hate about yourself, I think are adorable. I think are adorable. Even your confusion. I want to love, but I'm afraid to love. Well, I'm not going to rush you, but I'm here for you. Interesting. All right, let's go down to the subconscious mind. Wow. Seven of Pentacles. It's interesting because Seven of Pentacles is your tree of life. This is what I call it anyway. So at our table, it's your tree of life. And these seeds on this tree are the seeds that you planted. And remember, we always want to be planting seeds, or we have no harvest. But this, to me, I feel like some of you are calling in your soulmate. You may not know that because it is in the subconscious mind. Or let me put it a different way. This may be the divine timing. Some people wonder, like, well, why couldn't it happen back then? Why couldn't I have been blessed with my soulmate right from the get-go? Well, because your soul wanted to experience different things. I feel like those who like find love early in life and they're just so happy and everything seems to be going their way, or if it doesn't, they work together. I feel like they are old souls. And it's like most of the lessons within life had been learned. So it's like they come back one more time, but this time to truly experience the joy of life. So don't beat yourself up. Do the opposite. Give yourself a pat in the back. Now, I feel like when you see the Seven of Pentacles, to me, anything that we reveal was meant to happen. And I know some people are going to be like, okay, so love went bad. That was meant to happen. Yeah, but here's why. Because your ultimate love, I want to say you have yet to meet, but you have met them. I also feel like this soulmate, it's interesting because I feel like you're already connected. You're always connected. But what I mean is, it's almost like they're reading your mind, like telepathic communication. You may not be picking up on the other end, but I get the sense that, like, they're reading your mind. It's like they know you need them. And I feel like in Divine's calling, it's almost like they're waiting for that call. Okay. So, okay. Okay. So this is what I just got. They're waiting for your call, so to speak, because now I do feel like you were dealing with something karmic. And a true soulmate, even your spirit guides, they're not going to interrupt a karmic lesson because this is an opportunity for your soul to pay back this karma in full forever. For any other lifetimes, for any future selves. I even feel like for those who even follow. So it's pretty powerful. God, we're still only at the third card, and it's like, okay, let's keep going. Let's look at the past. The Knight of Swords. Communication. Looks like it's rushing in. Is it a good thing? I'm not feeling negative energy. And normally as soon as I touch the card, I can kind of feel if it's positive or negative. Well, I'm not feeling negative energy. And I don't feel like I'm feeling positive energy, which doesn't mean it's not positive. It may just be something that's not known yet. Almost like someone wanted to reach out earlier, but didn't. Not the person in the Five of Cups. I want to make that clear. I feel like the soulmate behind. Why? Well, their spirit guides probably said, not yet. The one thing we have to remember also, like we can be praying, doing affirmations, visualizations about bringing true love to us. And what we need to remember is like, think of Temperance, who is mixing the loving waters. We'll see if she shows up, but she doesn't need to show up. I already feel the energy. But she's mixing the loving waters of two soulmates. And the divine timing is about making sure that both cups are equally filled. It doesn't feel like this is like something that's meant to last for a couple months and then be over. I get the sense that you've done that, been there. All right, well, let's keep going. Sag, Eight of Swords. Okay. So this is a self-created prison. This could be that decision. And the decision may have to do with justice. It's like I want to, and then I don't want to. What if this person is meant to be What if this is my true love? Let me tell you, this is your true love. You wouldn't have to create this self-created prison. I'm not going to say you didn't love and they didn't love you. And I feel like this decision is whether to use that sword or not. I don't love seeing you in this energy because this is not your natural energy. I mean, you are fire. You are a go-getter. You follow those passions. And what you have to understand, I mean, I think that is a really good thing, but we know that not everything is going to pay off. Even your inner self or your, why can't I think of the word, your inner child, is the Page of Wands, who I call my risk taker. I call my fool. And one of the things, and you have to remember that that is you. And one of the things the page learns during this lifetime is, number one, I follow what stirs my soul, but not everything is going to work out. So the page, your inner child, learns how to get back up again, how to dust themselves off. Boy, I wish that would have worked out, but I'm not going to sit here and wait. Just not going to do it. Or are you? Because you created this, you are the only person who can uncreate it. Your guides can't do it. I can't do it. I try. But you have to, these are when we put up walls. This is when we're not really trusting our intuition, because your intuition would lead you in the right direction. And listen, I know using the sword, although I do feel like it's energetic more than anything, and I know everyone's going to have their own story. And, one story can have many stories in it. I know that. Okay. Let's go to your near future. Well, hello, King of Pentacles. Who might you be? King of Pentacles can be Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. I have to tell you, I kind of love the King of Pentacles. I mean, I literally do love the my guy's the King of Pentacles. But that's not why I love the King of Pentacles. I love the King of Pentacles before my guy. Because this is someone who is loyal. This is someone who has stability. I often feel like this is someone who's not just book smarts, and they are, but also, like street smarts. And maybe spiritually also. I feel like this is a king where, I'm going to be honest, the King of Pentacles is not someone who easily opens up their emotions, yes, but it's not easy for them to say it. Depending. I feel like, I don't know. I just get the sense with you, though, it's going to be different. Seven of Pentacles, right? Your tree of life with all your pentacles. And look what this king is holding. One of those pentacles. This is your soulmate. This is your soulmate. I won't say the person of the past wasn't a soulmate, but it feels like it was a karmic soulmate. Okay. Let's continue, and then we're gonna come back and really go deeper. Sag. This is probably why I'm doing this reading today. Eight of Swords turns into the Nine of Swords. This is worry. Health. Mother Mary's message. It makes so much sense because it can be extreme worry. It can turn into anxiety, depression, definitely sleepless nights. But here's the thing with the Nine of Swords. What I'm worrying about, Spirit says, is unnecessary. Some of you may feel like stuck, but you hold the key. And that may scare you. But you do. You hold the key. And this really does represent unnecessary worry. Like, you don't have to worry about this king. I already know that. I feel like what you're worrying about is still maybe someone who broke your heart or someone who went silent. And like, do I end it or do I not? Do I end it? Because, of course, there must still be some feelings there. But just let me say that the feelings will be night and day compared to what I feel your guides are ushering in now. All right, let's go to the external influences. Well, hello, Ace of Swords. Interesting. So, number one, this is your truth. And I feel like, look at this sword. Look how big it is. I feel like it is representing you using that sword of justice. And it's like you are now claiming your truth. And it's a one. We're in a universal year one. Remember, we are all the alchemists this year. This is not the year to wait and wonder if someone is going to love me the way I deserve. No, this is a year to know what you deserve. And those who cannot love you, then so be it. You know what I mean? Like, this is a year of raising your vibration, and therefore, anything of a lower vibration naturally wants to fade away. It truly is the human part of us that pulls it back in again. Some may say, which is not your normal energy, but for some reason I'm picking up where any love is better than no love. Though, as soon as I said that, I heard some of you saying, no, Sandy, no love is better than this love. I get you. I heard you. It's funny, as I'm holding the Ace of Swords, I literally heard. I hope you leave me a comment. For confirmation, though I feel like I don't need the confirmation. I know you said it. What else I love is anything that's coming towards you. With the Ace of Swords now, we know it's truth. So if it's someone communicating with you, this Knight of Pentacles this Knight of Swords who I do feel like was held back, like this is not, they may have been saying like, when is my love coming? But they had to have patience also. Spirit said that there's something you're being asked to step into. All right, let's go to your hopes and fears. Okay, well, that's a fear. Now, here's the good news. We have now gone from the Eight of Swords down to the Two of Swords. Two of Swords, this person has a blindfold on. And to me, it means there's just simply something I don't want to face. But I need to face it. The longer I wear the blindfold, the bigger the problem seems. But then I take the blindfold off. It's like, wait a minute. All that fear I had, I didn't need it. That's exactly what the Nine of Swords, the Nine of Swords is telling you. But let's give ourselves credit from going from the Eight of Swords down to the Two of Swords. And let's look at the final outcome. Look at this. The Five of Swords. You know, like, this is difficult energy, no doubt, but this is freeing you. You are setting yourself free. This is you reflecting on the toxicity in your life, wherever it may be coming from. This is you seeing it, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you know it, you can't unknow it. And this is just saying that you deserve better. But you have to know that at the same time. In the Five of Swords, it talks about toxic energy, toxic people. And there certainly could have been one or more than one who made you feel unworthy, or again, like true love doesn't exist, whatever it may be, but it's just bullshit. It's not the truth. It's coming from a toxic place. And the Five, you have to move. It's funny because when I go to the Six of Swords, I say you have to look back one card because the Six of Swords is about moving on. Well, I feel like this is now helping you to move on. It comes, number one, with the truth. And again, once you know the truth, you know the truth. All right. We have the Emperor on the bottom of the deck. Karmic. Eight of Wands below that. And look at that, the wheel. Boy, I feel like this is what is meant to be. And yes, this could be an Aries for some, but that's not really how I'm looking at it. Your wheel, the Seven of Pentacles. Seeds are getting ready to come to fruition if you so allow. Destiny. Remember how I said I felt some of you were calling in a soulmate? There it is. What I think about, I bring about. And who do you bring back? The Emperor. Well, let me tell you why I love that. Because the Emperor is someone that we can look up to. The Emperor is compassionate, caring, a leader. This is not someone who would just go quiet on you. If they fell out of love, they would tell you that. Uh, You're calling them in. You're calling them in. And, by the way, I feel like they've been calling you in. Boy, everything Spirit told me is showing. Someone connected to your path can feel that you're shifting. And when you move the fives, everything changes. That was coming from your guides. All right, let's bring in the crystal vision and let's go deeper if we dare. Let me grab a drink real quick. All right. Let's start at the current energy. Oh, look what just flipped itself around. The Nine of Swords. Just wanted to make sure my deck is in the upright. Judgment, your spiritual team. The Four of Cups, that makes so much sense. Four of Cups talks about discontentment and boredom in one's emotional world, unsatisfaction, sadness. But again, you can't see it in this card, but in the Four of Cups, you usually see a cup coming in from like the hand of divine. And this card is really about using or learning to use one's spiritual discernment. But the cup that's coming in literally is from divine. I wish you could see it in this image. Kind of feels like an answered prayer, but answered differently. You know, some of you may have wished and prayed that, you know, whoever kind of feels like they went silent on you, that they reconnect. But I feel like there's better. And you know, I don't want to put someone down, yet I don't like the fact that they hurt you. Hello, Will. Hello, Destiny. And wow, how about a change of energy? Here we go. Here is the beginning of everything. The Three of Pentacles is the energy of optimism. I expect good things to happen, and they do. In the Nine of Swords, I know bad things are going to happen, and then they do. That is the law of attraction. Just need to turn that around, which you did. I know good things are going to happen. And in the meantime, I'm just going to enjoy my life. This is living in the present moment. And just how we saw judgment, I didn't really show it to you, but I saw judgment on the bottom of the deck, your spiritual team. That's what they asked for. To be present in the present moment. So that the signs that guide you towards what I feel is going to be a beautiful love, definitely your soulmate, that you can connect. And for some of you, it's going to be in a magical way. And I'm not even sure what I mean by that, but that's what I'm hearing. And I feel like this is going to be a clue. A clue is probably not the right word. Just pay attention to the signs because they're guiding you to your soulmate. And I feel like your soulmate's already ready. So, what I mean by that is I feel like their cup is already full. And now we just need to refill your cup. And in the Three of Wands, your cup is full. And that doesn't mean, when I say your cup is full, what I mean is you found inner harmony. And sometimes it can only come through the hard truth. But then that hard truth can literally set you free. Listen, if you've been praying for, asking for, even subconsciously wishing for this type of love, well, it lies on your wheel. And your wheel is ready to spin. But it can't spin, number one, until you uncreate that prison. And that just means you're setting yourself free. Doesn't mean instantly you're healed. It means you're no longer willing to wait for someone who keeps you on a hook, loves you, then doesn't love you. Why? Because you got to know you deserve better. I love that with the Four of Cups, knowing that it's bringing a cup in, and then the wheel shows up right next to it, your destiny. And what does that do? It changes everything, just like Spirit said it would. So we've gone from all this worry to a state of optimism. And you know what? I feel like this is more energetic than anything. Like energetic ties. Some of you may have a hard time, and I don't know why I'm about to say this. And those who do Reiki, let me know. But I feel like for some of you, you could get Reiki and that could help remove the hooks. Now, I don't know that much about Reiki, but that's what I'm hearing. So if you do Reiki, all of a sudden I feel like I'm saying the wrong name. Let me know. Like, can you actually do that? Can you help, you know, remove those claws? I feel like you can, or I don't think I would have said that. Okay, let's keep going. I'm not going to take these away yet, but I do want to come down to the subconscious mind. Oh my God, my favorite love card. Wow. You know, I feel like some of you, you're saying, and maybe in your dreams, like subconsciously, I want someone who will put me on a pedestal, and I will do the same for them. I will be your queen, and you will be my king. I love that this is also represent, you see the white horse. To me, that's a sign of purity. This is the marriage card. Some of you, that's maybe exactly what you're wishing for. Marriage, partnership. I don't feel like it has to be marriage. Um, because I myself, like, like, even though I'm completely committed to Sam, it's like the marriage part, I don't know. I don't know if I need it. But the commitment, that's why I call this the commitment card. But it's true commitment. It's true love. And it's sitting right with the Seven of Pentacles, your tree of life. It's almost like your soul. Well, no, your soul does know. Not almost like your soul knows that this is part of. Well, okay, let me re explain that. Because your soul's not certain. However, if you're connected, like you flip that Eight of Swords around and let those swords fall out. Take the blindfold off and just face whatever truth. Your soul will guide you. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Like, let your soul take the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. Wow. The Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles is, first of all, card of Virgo. The meaning of the card is successful self-employment. And it's also connected to your tree of life. So, this is very good for your money. But let me tell you, if someone has thought about starting a business, but maybe also has fear about that, you may say to yourself, I don't know if I know enough. I would tell you to start anyway because you'll learn as you go. When I started Tarot, I knew nothing. I knew nothing. But I just kept doing it. And now it is my business. But it's a beautiful thing. This is feeling independent. And that may be a big part of this. Like, you have to feel this way first. Or, okay, not feel this way, but become, well, singular, free. And even with the Three of Wands here, which is all about optimism. And really, it is telling divine that I know my blessings will come in, and I know that they'll come in the right time. In the meantime, what I often feel is I'm going to turn to my creative house, especially if you're trying to get over something. It's like refocusing the mind. Some of you're taking your past experiences. Once you have clarity and free yourself from it, like cut those energetic ties. Some of you may be writing a book or wanting to help others. I often feel that. And I often feel that's a big part of our purpose. Like, if there's something difficult I just got over, why would I not share that with others if I know others are going through that? That's why I do readings. So, this feels very, very good. And I also have to say, Pentacles again, with the King of Pentacles being your potential future. But again, I'm not thinking Earth, though it can be Earth for some. But look at this. it just keeps getting better and better and better. All right, let's go up to the Eight of Swords. The King of Cups. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I don't think we have any of that out here, but this King of Cups has caused you to create the Eight of Swords. Look, it just flipped itself around. The Eight of Wands. Wow. All right. I just feel like there's going to be a few, no matter what I say, you may not give up on what you're trying to accomplish with someone. I don't feel like you asked for this lesson, though your soul probably did. You know, the Eight of Wands in reverse with the Eight of Swords in the upright, I don't really love. Means that there, chances are, is no action there. And listen, I was married to the King of Cups. Um, and I don't want to put worry in your head, but you probably would already know. Like, I feel like King Cups can be very flirty with other people. Let me just put it this way. When I got married to the King of Cups, it was within 6 months he started cheating on me. And I said to him, why did you even ask me to marry you? Why didn't you just stay free if you wanted to be free? Of course, his answer was, well, because I love you. Well, you can't love someone, truly love someone, and then cheat and hurt. You know what I mean? I just feel like this king is not giving you anything. Okay. And with the Eight of Wands in reverse, I don't know. I just get this sense that there's a few who are just going to say no, Sandy. No. And listen, that is your prerogative. You know what I mean? Like, I would never tell you what to do. I'm just showing you. I'm just showing you. Okay. I'm going to keep that there just because I like it so much. All right. Let's go to the past. Seven of Pentacles. Wow. Seven of Pentacles in your subconscious mind also. But you know what I feel like? I feel like the way I was feeling it in the beginning, like this is someone who wanted to communicate with you, but didn't. But I feel the reason why they didn't is because something in their soul, their spirit, their guides, it wasn't divine timing yet. But it doesn't mean it's not meant to be. Again, it's showing it, right? Now we have two Seven of Pentacles, two trees of life. The Four of Swords. Well, that's what I felt with this person. A healing soulmate. And hello, Ten of Pentacles. Wow. So you can see, like, yes, the past. or even the present, for some, has you tied up in knots. But these fives are asking for change, even the eight, a new beginning, like allowing yourself to have a new beginning, facing whatever needs to be faced, but keep in the back of your mind, if not in the front of your mind. Again, for someone who just is not loving you the way you deserve, look how the Nine of Pentacles turns into the Ten of Pentacles, with the King holding a pentacle. You both sit on each other's tree of life. This Four of Wands is about beautiful connection. And I feel like for some of you, it was important that you yourself feel, I want to say independent, but when I say that, I don't mean like I'm not going to let anything in my life. This is my life, and it is your life. And you want to remember that. Like this is you, like God gave you this life, not so other people can take advantage of it. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but again, learning to use that sword. That sword is there for whenever you need it. But here's the thing. I feel like many of you are telling yourselves the truth now. And if that's the case, I want to say get excited for the potential of what can be. And I have to say potential because everyone's got free will. But, wow. Okay, let's go to the King of Pentacles. Something makes me feel like I did already, but the Tower, the Three of Cups, the Two of Wands. Wow. It's like, it's interesting. Some of these future loves may be able to see like your social networks, because I feel like this king recognizes that you are in this tower moment or going through it. But here's the thing. I feel like the minute that those swords come down, hello, it's telling you not only do you sit on each other's tree of life because you are soulmates, this is the energy of joy, celebration. And the Two of Wands, your natural energy, taking a step forward. We don't have to take giant leaps. We can take baby steps. Because I feel like this person is your healing soulmate. You do not have to be perfect. Don't think that. Boy, I feel like I was just reading someone's mind. It's like, I feel like this soulmate knows that you have some broken pieces. And they may too. You may be each other's healing soulmates. But this is meant to bring your heart joy. Mother Mary has a message very much like this. I just forgot what I was going to say. Oh, to allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Just take a step in. I feel like that's all you need is one step. Allow yourself to feel, which can be scary. But again, it should feel like joy to you. And what I love Though I know when people see a tower, it's like, oh my God, a tower. That king is going to give me a tower. No, I don't feel that at all. I feel like this king recognizes the tower energy you've been through. And chances are, again, they've been through something very similar. All right, let's go down to you. Look at that. Come on, fool. Look at the. Jeez, I cannot pick it up. Hello, fool. Hello, leap of faith. I mean, what energy do I want to live in? The Nine of Swords, constant fear. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where my person's at. I don't know what they're doing. All I know is I'm the one who keeps getting hurt. Or do I want to live in the Fool's energy? Free and clear. That means these swords, gone. And I feel like at this point, I want to keep that 8 in reverse. So again, it's just taking a leap of faith. You know, the one thing about the Fool, though, is the Fool does clear the past, extracts the wisdom, yes. You know, I want to learn the lessons because that's what gives me soul evolution. But I don't want to hang on to them. You know, it's like I remember them, but I don't feel the pain of them anymore. Why? Because you're out on a new adventure. That's why. Because this present and soon future will look nothing like the past. I can't stress, though, how much you have to do with this. I just love that the Fool came over that Nine of Swords. Goodbye, fear. Hello, adventure. Hello, being back to my natural self again. This is not something I just realized, but my eye got pulled down to the zero. It looks like infinity, doesn't it? No beginning, no end. No beginning, no end. Eight of Cups. So, emotional clarity. This is you walking away from the past. This is you saying no more. This is you heading towards the Nine of Cups. Inner fulfillment and fulfillment of wishes. And why is this so powerful? Because it's coming over the Ace of Swords. Your truth. Your real truth. Your spiritual truth. 8. You're giving yourself a new beginning. Doesn't even have to mean that I'm searching for something. This is you allowing the past not to affect you in the way it had been. Eight of Swords and the Three of Pentacles. Wow. It's like we have conflicting energy, right? Some in the Eight of Cups, right? An emotional clarity. Doesn't mean I need to know why every cup in my life has fallen over. Some are just free will. You know what I mean? Like some cups you don't have to analyze, but the ones that really affected you, you do want to analyze them. You know, but not in a judgmental way. Like, don't judge yourself. Just know yourself. Three of Pentacles, I feel like, boy, I feel like someone did a number on you because this is all about celebrating your individuality. By the way, anyone in your life now is also celebrating that. It tells you you don't need to be anyone else but yourself. You know, allow yourself to evolve. Because when you do, it's like the blessings that come in just might blow your mind. But what I want to say also is, you know, this person back here, I often feel like this is a secret admirer. And that may be why I picked up for some like social media. This is also very creative energy, as is the Nine of Cups or the Nine of Pentacles. So again, with the Three of Pentacles next to the Eight of Swords, some of you just don't believe that you're worthy, but that is coming from other sources, not from the high, that's for sure, from the low. This is telling you you were made exactly the way God wanted to make you. And those who don't see the beauty of your soul, maybe they're not meant to, but someone else is going to. And who knows, some of you may literally write on your social media where you may have put like, I'm in a complicated relationship. Complicated for sure. But then you do for yourself. And you may go right onto your social media, single, someone who maybe wanted to reach out to you before sees that and says, yes, my time. It's my opportunity. They may turn me down. I don't know. But I'm going to take a chance. And let me tell you, for the King of Pentacles to really take a chance in love, that speaks volumes. It's like we're getting the energy of will I or won't I? And I feel like the best thing you can do here, it's like it's giving us a pro and con list, you know, or I get a lot of people who, like, not a lot of people, but some people who leave comments, like, oh, how am I ever going to find that person? This is giving you the roadmap. This is giving you the roadmap. But the problem is, many times people skip over the lessons because they want to go right to the blessings. But the lessons, listen, it's not just bringing love in, it's changing your life. It's evolving your life. And therefore, everything that comes in after that is of a higher vibration. But you did that. I just want you to be proud of yourself, especially those who have said enough is enough to those who are not giving you what you deserve. I don't know how else to say that. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's go up to the Two of Swords. Hello, Sun. And hello, Ace of Wands. Wow. So this fear of the Two of Swords, that blindfold, this is telling you to take that blindfold off, that the sun is shining. Well, how do I know that? You'd know that if you take the blindfold off. The sun, I feel like, is also helping those who worry. If you've been cheated on, it's a hard thing to clear. I know that. But, the difference is night and day. Can I just tell you? Because I've been with those cheaters. I've been with those who, put me lower than the lowest. And now, and this is much later in my life, I'm with the man that I loved, my first love, who I literally don't have to worry. Like, there's no jealousy. I've never lived my life that way before because there was always something. And now, and the reason why I'm telling you that is because that's what the sun is about. It is your illuminator. It's telling you there's no need to wear a blindfold at this point. And this Ace of Wands, boy, does it feel like your heart chakra is being cracked open. This is passion ignited. Period. But it's also action. So we have to reach out and grab this ace. We have to say yes to it. But it carries passion. It carries, it carries the energy where it's almost like I can't help but reach out for it. Don't be afraid of it. Sun makes you feel like a kid again. And that's probably why I was talking about the Page of Wands, who I feel is your inner child. We don't even have it here, but I felt the need to talk about it. Interesting. Unencumbered. I mean, literally, it is like the sun is out after 40 days and nights of rain. Nothing to hide here. Okay. Let's go to the final outcome. And I think I am going to use the romance angels afterwards. I feel a theme running in the month of February. And, I've said this, I think, in most of the readings where a lot of people were expecting January to have these major, like, epiphanies and ideas. Well, hang on to your hat because I feel like, and I should have said this in my podcast. I think I did do one about it, how January opened up slowly. But I feel, and I always felt this way. Well, once I started my spiritual journey, that the energy really begins like around March. By the way, we got the Eight of Pentacles. Excuse me one second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, it's only gone a second. So anyways, the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles can answer a question, a love question. How do I know this will be any different than any love before? Or how do I know that this love can stand the test of time? The Eight of Pentacles says if you're willing to focus on it, it will only grow and blossom. And I also feel, it's interesting. I feel like for some of you, you are starting a new life, like a new job, a new love. And even when I see the sun, it makes me think of hometown. Some of you may be moving. Eight of Pentacles tells you, be willing to go into something as the apprentice, but knowing that if you put your focus on it, you will be the master teacher. Here you are. In the subconscious mind, but it's the truth. So your lessons weren't for nothing. Some of you, you're just naturally going to help others. I feel like someone is taking Reiki lessons right now. And I feel like you're going to do really well. Matter of fact, if it's you and you have a website, share it with us. If you would. You don't have to. And by the way, I just want you to know, because someone tried to share a link with me and then got a little upset that, like, why'd you ask me to share and then you don't share my link? Well, the links, when I get a link, it's always held back and I have to go in and approve a link. But I will definitely approve your link. And I usually approve most links unless it's something out of this world in a bad way. All right, let's see if anything else wants to come out with that. 10 of Wands. Goodbye, burdens. Goodbye, carrying the weight of anything all on my shoulders. Goodbye to you. Goodbye to you. Sorry. I can't even think how this song goes. I love how you guys like fill in the blanks for me. But I feel like that is beautiful. The 10 of Wands in reverse. The burdensome energy now coming to an end. Do you have to let it? Of course you do. That's what these 8s and these 5s are all about. But look where it wants to take you. And by the way, I'm also seeing a progression in your money. Let's not leave that off the table. Because some of you, not only do I feel like you're going to fall in love with your healing soulmate, but I feel like you're also doing something very creative. And some of you may have like listened to prior readings where I say often, if I'm stuck in a situation where there's not much I can do about it, instead of worrying about it, pull your energy into your creative house. Because some of you, I'm telling you, you may have a future business, or if you have a business now, you may really start to see the fruits of your labor. I do want to say that 8 of Swords, it can block a lot of things. But when you free yourself, it's like the universe celebrates. All right, let's fix some of this up. Sorry, I hate putting my arm right in front of the camera. Don't forget. Don't forget. I just want to give a hand to your guides because everything I heard when I was pre-shuffling has come out in your reading. And this is why I really listen. Okay. Romance, angels. And anyone who's new, I just want to let you know one of the reasons why I cut every deck is I want to introduce them into an ongoing reading. So I want them to pick up where we left off. This could be the one. This could be the one. Interesting. You already met the romantic partner you seek. But it's like you don't know that. Some of you do know who this king or queen, but also I have to say with soulmate energy, you know each other eternally. And there's a sense of familiar energy with this type of soulmate. And I feel like there's going to be gentleness. Something tells me they're going to be gentle. Like they have a very gentle energy about them. It is safe for you to love. Boy, do I feel like some of you needed to hear that. It is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. That tells me that some lessons were learned and some blessings were earned. Let's do one more. Flirt. And you guys are great at flirting. Bring out that part of you again. That's what I feel like this energy is calling for. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. When the Eight of Swords, you're not so lighthearted. But once you're able to flip that around, then you are. And I feel like you're great flirters. And I don't mean that in a way of like, if you're in a relationship, you're out flirting with other people. I mean, I just, I don't know. I just love your energy. And I love it when you trust your energy. This could be the one. It is safe for you to love and extend your lighthearted energy to others. Right to this person. If you choose, I hope you do. Even if you don't choose love, I hope you choose to turn that Eight of Swords around. I hope you just set yourself free. And honestly, I really feel like the rest will just take care of itself. Because setting yourself free, I feel like immediately lifts your vibration. And if we think about the law of attraction, right? Just like it's safe for you to love, where it says, open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Well, if the Eight of Swords is in the upright, we're not going to receive the highest energy of all. But when we're free, when we know it's safe to love, even if there's a little fear, that's just being human. And that's why I said, just take a baby step. I'm not going to try to talk you into it, though I feel like I probably did the whole reading, but I feel it so deeply. All right. One more. Anything else? Something is telling me to take. Oh my God. So, literally, I was just about to end the reading and I heard take one more card. Sagittarius. Not that I needed this validation, but maybe some of you did. I had no doubt it was your soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Some of you may have asked that question. Is this really my soulmate? The spirit's like, yes, this is your soulmate. Have fun. Enjoy. Allow yourself to be wooed. And allow yourself to woo another. This, I'm telling you, is going to feel playful. You know, that kind of love where, like one's cooking and the other goes around and grabs their arm and then they start dancing in the kitchen, or they chase each other around the house, or they just make each other laugh. I also feel the sense, though, we could sit in a room and not speak a word and feel completely comfortable in the silence. We don't need to be talking all the time. Just our presence together is everything. Man, Sag, I knew this was going to be one hell of a reading. I just knew it. And I love that everything your guide said beforehand came out. So, double confirmation. And then you will be the third confirmation. You know what I mean? Through your comments. I really hope you feel this. That's the main thing. I hope your soul feels this because that's who I'm talking to. Talking to your soul. Soul to soul. This soul loves your soul. And this soul wants your life to be joyful, loving, all that you deserve. And I should add that even with all this beauty, it doesn't guarantee that there won't be issues, right? That issues don't arise. But the difference here is we work them out together. Together. And if they are your healing soulmate, then you are their healing soulmate. That's that. Yes, this is your soulmate. Amen. And so be it. I love you guys. I loved your reading. I mean, I didn't like part of it, but the potential of what can be, wow. And a lot of people don't believe it until it actually happens. I didn't believe Sam was going to call me 40 years later. Why would I think that? Then it happened out of the blue. And by the way, I could tell you a lot of love stories just from doing my own personal, not my personal reading, but other people's personal readings. Like, and then them telling me, like, oh, I met that person, or, whatever it may be. But I would say your spirit guides, our spirit guides, are really very clear in our readings. And again, it's like I want to give your guides quite the hand. And my guides, our guides. Why do I keep separating them? I don't know. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you. We'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.